death continues to haunt twins in House of the Dragon. In the Season 2 premiere, assassins hired by Daemon Targaryen brutally killed King Aegon's son, Jaehaerys, while he lay in his crib. His twin sister, Jaehaera, was saved by their mother, Helaena Targaryen, who managed to escape with her. Unfortunately, in the most recent episode, another set of siblings wasn't as fortunate. The episode begins in chaos following the murder of Jaehaerys by Blood and Cheese. Terrified maids hurriedly remove blood-stained sheets from the chambers, while the castle staff frantically moves through the corridors. Alicent Hightower, the child's grandmother, is found weeping in her father's room, overwhelmed by guilt. Through her sobs, she expresses her belief that the gods are punishing her, although she can't articulate why. The audience, however, understands that her feelings of guilt are linked to her relationship with Criston Cole, the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, who was with her the previous night and failed to protect her family. Alicent mourns not only her grandson, but also on behalf of her children, Helaena and Aegon, who are Jaehaerys' parents. Otto, the Hand of the King and ever the strategist, tries to reassure her, suggesting that some good might still come from this tragedy. Aegon is consumed by fury. As king, he views his son as his legacy. In his rage, he demolishes the model of the Red Keep in his room and hurls objects across the space. He is determined to declare war and seek vengeance against Rhaenyra, convinced that she is the mastermind behind the tragedy. Aegon is determined not to appear weak, but that perception may already be beyond repair. Following his rushed coronation and the dramatic escape of a dragon from the dragon pit orchestrated by Rhaenys, his rule is now viewed with suspicion and fear by the citizens. Some even begin to question whether Rhaenyra might be a more suitable ruler, as Otto points out. To counter this doubt, Otto suggests holding a public funeral for Jaehaerys. Such an event would allow the people to witness the extent of the damage inflicted by Rhaenyra and understand the profound suffering endured by the Hightower Targaryen family. Otto asserts that this display would be more impactful than the deployment of 1,000 knights. Though Aegon is initially resistant to the idea of showcasing his deceased child, he eventually consents after some persuasion from his mother. Meanwhile, Lord Larys informs the council that a gold cloak was captured attempting to flee the city with Jaehaerys' head in a sack. Alicent meets with her daughter, Helaena, to inform her of the funeral plans and urge her to stay silent about seeing Criston in her room the previous night. However, Helaena is too distraught to focus. During the funeral procession for Jaehaerys, Larys interrogates Blood in the dungeon, who quickly confesses that Daemon hired him and his accomplice. Aegon then steps in to exact his revenge. Above ground, the funeral spectacle succeeds, with townspeople blaming Rhaenyra and sympathizing with the family's grief. However, tension rises when the carriage carrying Alicent, Helaena, and Jaehaerys' body gets stuck. Guards struggle to free the vehicle as the crowd swarms the royal family, creating a chaotic scene. At Dragonstone, Rhaenyra is stunned to learn of Jaehaerys' death and the accusations against her. The men around her believe she might seek such revenge, but she insists she wouldn't inflict the same grief on another, especially not on innocent Helaena. With a glance at Daemon, Rhaenyra realizes he orchestrated the entire plot. When Rhaenyra confronts Daemon privately, she condemns his actions, noting that his plot not only resulted in a child's death, but also damaged her reputation and weakened her position with potential allies. She challenges him directly, questioning whether he truly supports her as queen, or is merely seeking the power he lost when she was named Viserys' heir. Calling him pathetic, she orders him to Harrenhal. Rhaenyra then instructs Baela to monitor King's Landing with her dragon Moondancer. Regarding Daemon, Rhaenyra states, he must follow his own path. Consumed by guilt, Criston Cole visits the twins' room and witnesses the blood-soaked mattress where Jaehaerys lay. He confides in Alicent that he sees no way to absolve himself of his actions. In an attempt to rectify his deeds, he takes drastic measures. He commands Sir Eric to assassinate Rhaenyra on Dragonstone. The plan involves Eric posing as his twin brother, Eric, a deception aimed at ensuring secrecy. Eric faces pressure from King Aegon's authority. Failure to carry out the mission could jeopardize his standing. Reluctantly, Eric resolves to see it through, with little room for choice. Jace and Baela find solace on Dragonstone, bonding over their fathers. Baela admits, "Sometimes I think I hate him," as she practices archery. Jace fondly recalls his uncle Laenor teaching him to fish and admires the memory of his father, Howin Strong, for his gentleness and strength. But above all, he deeply mourns his brother Luke. In a surprising moment of reflection, Aemon thinks of Lucerys while in a brothel that night. He confesses to a sex worker, "I regret what happened with Luke. I lost my temper that day and I'm sorry for it." The woman reminds him of the impact of royal actions on the common people, like blacksmith Hugh, who recently voiced concerns to King Aegon about the rising costs of supplies for the crown's weapons. Back at his home, Hugh's daughter is ill in bed, and his wife complains about the growing scarcity and costliness of food due to Rhaenyra's blockade on King's Landing. Meet Alan, who once sailed with Corlys Valerian's fleet. His brother, Adam, urges him to return to sea alongside the Sea Snake once his ship is repaired. However, Alan is wary of the perils of warfare. Meanwhile, we glimpse into Corlys Valerian's private conversations with Rhaenys. In intimate moments, they ponder whether Daemon Targaryen can manage being in Rhaenyra's shadow, and if he can secure Harrenhal for her. In Dragonstone, Mysaria meets with Rhaenyra and confesses that she provided Daemon with the names of 2 assassins in exchange for her freedom, which she now hopes Rhaenyra will grant. Rhaenyra recognizes Mysaria from Daemon's earlier claims of marriage and pregnancy, realizing she possesses valuable knowledge of the Red Keep's secrets. Instead of releasing her immediately, Rhaenyra decides to leverage Mysaria as an asset. Meanwhile, in King's Landing, Aegon publicly executes all the rat-catchers, including Cheese, believing one of them aided in his son's murder. What he intends as a display of strength risks alienating the public, now mourning their lost loved ones. Otto, enraged by the executions and Criston Cole's plan to send Eric to kill Rhaenyra, confronts Aegon. In a surprising move, Aegon dismisses Otto as Hand of the King and appoints Cole in his place, shocking both Cole and the court. Rhaenyra reluctantly releases Mysaria, but on her way to the harbor, she spots Sir Eric arriving at Dragonstone. Sensing trouble, she prepares for the worst. As Cole foresaw, Eric infiltrates the castle disguised as his twin. Upon reaching Rhaenyra's chambers, he is confronted by his brother before he can carry out the assassination. The twins engage in a fierce duel, exchanging both blows and heartfelt words. "We were born together," one declares. "You separated us, but I still love you, brother," replies the other. Ultimately, Eric kills Eric but is overwhelmed with remorse. He begs Rhaenyra for forgiveness before taking his own life. It's a brutal confrontation, choreographed with the same intensity as Rhaenyra and Daemon's earlier argument. The fight includes punches, kicks, and visceral hand-to-hand combat interspersed with swordplay. Darcy is caught in the middle, though her efforts seem futile amidst the fervor. The twins' cries of pain reflect both physical and emotional anguish, as they realize this is their final moment. It's a poignant farewell for the Tittenser brothers, a scene as powerful and memorable as any main character's exit, underscoring the human toll amid the tumultuous dance of dragons. Meanwhile, Otto decides to return to Old Town, leaving Alicent to suggest her father campaign for House Tyrell's allegiance at Highgarden. Alicent seizes the opportunity to confess her affair with Cole to her father, but Otto refuses to hear of it, dismissing her admission. Finding Aegon in tears in his chambers, Alicent seeks solace in another intimate night with Criston Cole, now serving as Hand of the King. The final scene with Alicent and Cole felt like the show's weakest link, the only time I seriously considered checking the episode's runtime. Their sudden pairing, absent from Fire and Blood, is oddly repugnant, almost like it was intentionally designed to be shallow. Alicent having an affair with Rhaenyra's former flame feels a bit too much like recycled drama, without offering much new depth. As Cole himself quips in episode 2, there's no redemption in sight for either of them. Maybe the gods will intervene, but for now, I'll keep an eye on this train wreck of a relationship. Oh, and for goodness sake, lock the door this time. As we wrap up this journey through the intricate web of alliances, betrayals, and heart-wrenching dramas in the world of House of the Dragon, one thing is clear: the Dance of Dragons leaves no one untouched. From royal intrigue to personal vendettas, each character's choices reverberate across the realm, shaping destinies and sealing fates. Join us next time as we delve deeper into the captivating narratives that unfold in this epic saga. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay tuned for more insights and analysis from the Narrative Network. Until then, may your blades stay sharp and your dragons fly high.